Welcome back to Couch Talk, everybody. I just watched the trailer for Artemis Fowl, and I gotta say, I'm usually pretty good with movies that are coming out. Like, I know pretty much everything that's gonna come out months and months and months before. A lot of people do. I do a lot of research, and I sit on my phone a lot and Google just things that are coming out, and I had no idea that this was dropping. This was a total surprise. After the release of this trailer, I turned to my friend whom I work with and I asked him if he ever heard of Artemis Fowl, and he said no. Where I then proceeded to ask a bunch of other people that I knew if they've ever heard of it, and they said no. But apparently it's based off of a series of books that came out in April of 2001. I don't know how many books there are in the series, maybe like 8 to 12. But really, the story of this is probably based off of the first book, which, hold on, I wrote this down here. The story is Artemis is a criminal mastermind who steals a fairy and holds her for ransom to fund the search for his missing father to restore the family name. Who is this fairy and why are they worth so much money? I'm not going to knock on the trailer for not telling me, but I'm just kind of curious. And obviously this is a fantasy movie. It's a fairy, but the trailer doesn't really do a great job of relaying any of the story to me. However, the fact that I haven't met a single person that has ever read these books is a little concerning to me. I have seen a couple YouTube reviewers go out and make trailer reactions for this and how excited they are and that they read the books growing up, but I never did. Gotta understand, Harry Potter, before those movies came out, I read the first book. My grandma bought it for me, I read it. I knew a lot of kids in school that were reading it. It had a fan base going in, and I'm not saying Artemis Fowl doesn't have a fan base, but I'm just saying everybody who was anybody knew what Harry Potter was prior to going in. So it had that going for it, but the fact that I don't know a single person that knows this is kind of concerning. So the only thing this movie has going for it, other than its fan base, is how good the trailer is at making people that don't know the source material excited to see this. And it's not doing it justice because it just doesn't look all that good, honestly. Maybe it's just that I'm a little sick of these teen dramas. Honestly, the only thing this movie has really going for it, to set it aside from other teen movies coming out in these big blockbuster eras, is that he's an anti-hero. He is a criminal mastermind. He is the bad guy. Which is good because, I was excited to see Suicide Squad. I've always been intrigued at the notion of following the bad guys for once instead of the hero, so it's kind of cool to see that we're going to be following a kid that's kind of the scumbag in the situation, and I think you could have a lot more fun watching it from that angle, and they can get away with a lot more. But again, it is a kids movie, so it can't be cool criminal, rated R criminal, so I'm kind of curious as to how a kid-friendly version of that unfolds. Good reception to a movie needs a good trailer. That, in turn, brings people to the movie theater to see this movie, and this trailer's just not doing it for me. Kenneth Branagh made this movie. I had no idea. He made Murder on the Orient Express. He also starred in that. He made one of the Jack Ryan movies that came out recently. He also remade Umbrella. He kind of really jump-started the whole live-action Disney movie thing with the first one they did. And he's a good director. I don't think he's horrible or anything, but it's just so weird that this is the next thing he would tackle. I thought he would do, Murder on the Nile or something more serious. Maybe he read this book, maybe his kids read it and they really wanted him to make this. I don't really know, but this just doesn't seem like something he would do. Look, I'm not saying the movie's going to be bad, and it is just a teaser trailer. It's not really showing us a whole lot, and I'm sure the trailer 2 will, but as of right now, I don't really know what I'm looking at here. I don't know if it takes place on a different planet. The only reason I have a description of the movie is because I read it off of IMDb, but the trailer does nothing to relay that message to me. I see he has, I think, a butler that shoots a mythical bow and arrow. He has some kind of space gun. He wears a suit. He's a thief, I guess. But the CGI also looks terrible, so it's not even like I could be like, yeah, the movie looks pretty. The CGI just wasn't that good. So as a trailer, it kind of sucks, honestly. I'm very underwhelmed by it, which sucks because I don't want movies to fail. I love the movie business, the movie industry. I love movies being made, and I love original new things. I'm so sick and tired of getting just more superhero movies. And not that I hate superhero movies. We're just so oversaturated with sequels and trilogies and all this stuff that it's nice to have something new come out, even though this is going to follow suit if it's successful with its own franchise. But I don't know. Harry Potter's kind of failing at the box office right now. I don't think it's making as much as they wanted. It only has $400 million. I don't think it's going to beat Fantastic Beasts 1 box office haul, which was $800 million. And I kind of have this notion that those genres are dying. the Hunger Games movies, which I loved a lot, each movie they dwindled with money. By the last one, it made significantly less than the one prior. So I think that the genre of just like teen movies are kind of just dying out. The Maze Runner, Twilight, like they were all making less money towards the end of their lifespan at the movies. So I don't know if this is really a good time for something like this to come out. And that's not to disappoint anyone that's a fan of this stuff, because again, this could be really good, but it doesn't have the highest viewership on YouTube. I mean, there are other movies that are way less popular and way less independent that have more views. I just don't know if this is going to hook people, especially with a trailer like this. Anyway, let's talk about it in the comments down below. Are you excited for this movie? Have you read the books? And how would you compare it to the other teen movies that are coming out? What makes this stand out, aside from the fact that he's an anti-hero? Let's talk about it down below, and as always, I'll catch you next time.